All right, everyone, this is norvellcentral coming back at you with another YouTube video. And at this time of the recording, I have 1,300 subscribers. So I just want to thank everyone so much for all the love and the support. I know that about 79% of you that have been watching my videos have not even subscribed to the channel. It takes 1 second just to hit the subscribe button, click that bell to get notified for whenever I'll be able to post. And it just helps out the channel a whole lot. Be sure to comment your thoughts, like the video, do everything you can so that way I can try to be able to get as much engagement as I can on my videos and get it out to as many people as I can. But we're going to go over some different things today. The first thing that I want to kind of discuss in this video is about Daylan Smothers, the 4-star running back out of North Carolina, and he committed to Oklahoma. So that was really a huge target for Florida State going forward there at the running back position. And David Johnson unfortunately struck out on this recruitment. Oklahoma is in a better state as it is. Can't make excuses because, like I said, we got the last official visit, and unfortunately he decided to go over the Sooners over the likes of Alabama and also NC State. So, what do we go from here? Like, how do we really navigate through that tough process? And really the two running backs that we have on the board, the first one is Sam Singleton. He actually visited with Smothers on the official visit on June 24th. And he's a very, very talented back. It's a good situation for there. He's from Fleming Island in Florida, and he's been a guy that Florida State's been on for quite some time. Now, he's not really a burner like Daylan Smothers, because Daylan Smothers was Mr. North Carolina and had a lot of achievements, but Singleton himself is actually a really good prospect. I mean, he had 148 rushing attempts for 948 yards and 9 rushing touchdowns. So he isn't a slouch. The year before that, in 2020, he had 100 carries for 921 yards and 7 touchdowns. And then in 2019, he had 114 carries for 751 yards and 9 touchdowns. So total, he had 25 rushing touchdowns through his 3 years in high school so far. Hopefully this year in doing his senior season and everything is going to be a big factor. There's going to be a lot of good things coming out of this, and I think he really enjoys Florida State going forward there. But the biggest problem with him was Penn State. I think Penn State was something that was going to be holding him back with a lot of different things, and he wanted to visit in July. But the good news is they actually got a 4-star running back commit. His name escapes me at the top of my head real quick, but I do know that they had actually got a 4-star running back to commit in the recent couple of days. So that is very big for Florida State going forward there, because that's a really good get for Florida State. I'm not saying that it's great because you missed out on Smothers, but it is a kind of a better situation there that you're able to kind of get him in, and hopefully with him being the only official visit and him kind of wanting to make that maybe late July, early August decision, that bodes in Florida State's favor. So really you want to see a lot of different things going on there. And even if he does visit Penn State, will he be that much of a priority with them already having a 4-star running back commit already? Now, we know how Penn State and Oklahoma and all these schools do. They do multiple running backs. So sometimes they may commit and we bring in another guy. So we'll definitely have to see how that factors into it. But with him being a South Florida kid like it is, hopefully that kind of factors into Florida State being that well as well. But then there's another kid, Christopher Johnson, the 3-star running back out of Dillard High School in Florida. And that's another situation where I think Florida State sits in a decent spot. They don't sit as good as Singleton, because I think Singleton, as he's already alluded to, has said that Florida State is his leader in his recruitment so far. You got schools like Alabama, Miami, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, stuff like that for Christopher Johnson. And, as we all know, that was Devon Mortimer's high school. He was a 4-star receiver commit that we had, and then he ultimately flipped to Louisville at the very last second. And these South Florida kids can be kind of unpredictable. The biggest thing with him, though, is he is super, super fast. He's probably one of the fastest prospects in this class. And he's gotten some offers lately. He's gotten one notably. Clemson offered him a couple of days ago. And then you also had Alabama who offered him about a month ago, and he's already included them in his top 6 list. So, just coming from that, with everything going on, even Clemson that just offered 5 or 6 days after he put that top 6 out, that just means that some of these top schools are coming to go there, and you're hoping that Florida State can kind of get some kind of momentum. Now, the good news is he is visiting Florida State in July, so that's going to be very good to see where Florida State stands. Now, the dead period, of course, goes from June the 27th all the way to July 24th. So, the coaching staff can't really make any contact or in-person visits with that. So you have to make other creative methods with that. So we're hoping that, during that July 30th recruiting event that a lot of people can gain more of that traction. But overall, if you look at the recruiting at the position so far, the position at Florida State for running back wise is really talented. Even though they had Jashawn Corbin leave for the NFL draft, you have a guy like Trayshawn Ward. You also have a guy that's like Trey Benson, who I think is going to be really good this year. He's coming off an injury, so we'll see how that goes. But he is 2 years removed. Then you got a guy like C.J. Campbell, a preferred walk-on. Lawrence Toafili, who actually showed some flashes last season, but he's got to stay healthy. Rodney Hill, who I think is going to be really good. And then you lost D.J. Williams, too, to Arizona. So really you have 4 plus the 5 if C.J. Campbell gets put on scholarship. That'll be really big. Rodney Hill is a good freshman, but I just don't know how much he's going to contribute. But I do think overall that room together is going to gel really well. But I really want to see more of production in recruiting-wise because, as you saw last season, the running back position was a strength for Florida State, especially Jashawn Corbin and Trayshawn Ward. They both did really well and averaged about 6.4 yards per carry. So you want to see that factor into recruiting. But, if you look at the recruiting ranks the last couple of years, in 2020 we added Lawrence Toafili, but he was committed to this old staff. He just ultimately decided to stay with Florida State even after the new staff came. So it wasn't really much that David Johnson did on that one. You turn around and have the 21 class, and you're like, okay, there's no running back commits that are committed. You turn around and have the 22 class, and you get Rodney Hill, but you lost out on Javonte Barnes. And it's seeming like you have to hit on some of these positions, especially with a guy like Smothers. You're still in that recruitment later on in the season, but it's going to be hard, especially when you're an Oklahoma team that has had some really good success and you're going to the SEC in a couple of years. You want to see Florida State do better at that position. And I'm not knocking, David Johnson at all because I do commend his effort. I think he is a good coach, but I do think that he's got to hit more on these recruiting targets that we have. I'm very confident that we'll be able to get Samuel Singleton. But, you just have to figure out some other options. Maybe we go after another one. Maybe we'll go after in a transfer portal. Maybe we expand the board a little bit more like I talked about in the DB recruiting target board. But just overall, I think, everything's going to have to piece together. And we're just going to have to see what we can do about Singleton first, prioritize him, see what we can do about Christopher Johnson later on with his visit coming up, and then everything kind of falls into place. And I just want to thank everyone for watching the video today. Be sure to like the video. Comment your thoughts. And as always, go Noles.